this was released a couple days ago. We found out now that the reason why Frank Vogel was fired was because of his inability to make Russell Westbrook a more productive part of the team. All right. This played a big role in his firing. I don't know why this didn't come out now. I kind of want to say duh, but like, yeah, this report came out and it's blowing up. So, what's your reaction to this?
I mean, yeah, it makes sense because we saw Russell Westbrook struggle all year, and this is in my opinion, one of the greatest players that we probably will witness in this generation. So to see how the Lakers season went when you have Russell, LeBron, Anthony Davis when he's healthy, it was like, what? It just didn't make sense. And it seems that they didn't really click. They didn't really have this same mindset or on the same page all season. So I'm sure they were wanting. I'm sure it's not just his sole fault that it didn't work out with Russ. But I'm looking at his previous season in Washington. I'm like, oh, this dude helped the Wizards get to the playoffs. And I'm like, okay, so if he can help the Wizards get to the playoffs when they pretty much, I didn't really see them making it, even with Bradley Beal. And he averaged a triple-double again. And then you come to the Lakers with what should be a better team. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, what happened right there? And to see how he struggled this year, I was like, man, this is not the Russell Westbrook that we know. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me. And like I said, I don't solely blame Frank Vogel for that, but it just was a weird thing. I've never really seen him struggle like that. I've seen Russ have some bad games, but not the whole season. And still, like, even with the rotations, trying to figure out, do I put him in with Rondo when we had Rondo in the early season, and does he play on ball with LeBron or he can't. It was just bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, that was my very point. Like, you remember the lineups he had with Rondo and Russ on the floor at the same time. Come on, Vogel. Like, and he did this
Rondo,
multiple
Russ,
times.
and LeBron.
He did this multiple times. He did it multiple times. That does not work. Also, so yeah, it's on him with the rotations, right? And it's also on him for, like, okay, you think Russ need to come off the bench? You get him off the bench. He's the coach, right? So just watch him and see how it works. And you could have staggered the minutes to where he plays mostly with the bench. He can still start and then just stagger his minutes. Take him out, put back in the second unit, and there are multiple things he could have done.
Yeah.
Now, granted, AD was hurt. LeBron was hurt. We didn't really see too many games with the big three all together. But the thing is, their record wasn't that great when they did play together. It wasn't even that 500. So I wish we got a chance to see them all play and they're all healthy. But I will say this about Russ: at least he was available most of the season. I mean, I will say that, but it's up to you as a coach to adjust the scheme to the players. Clearly, Frank Vogel's scheme is more defensive oriented, but you lost a lot of your defensive players when your front office decided to trade for Westbrook. You don't have Caldwell Pope. You don't have Caruso, right? You don't have Kuzma, who's decent in defense, at least he gives you length, right? And someone who can also give you consistent scoring, at least to a certain degree. I think when they got Westbrook, they didn't think it would be this version of Westbrook, and nobody thought Westbrook would be like this. This is definitely not the Westbrook you had in mind, but again, adjust the scheme to the players. Adjust the scheme to the players. And because he didn't do that, yeah, duh. Yes, you got fired. Duh. It was reports out that you're going to be fired weeks ago. Like, before, you would have just traded along to the end. We knew he was going to get fired. Now, I will say this. I don't like how they leaked it, though. Like, don't leak it. You know, let it stay in house. I mean, we can all assume he's gonna get fired, but let it stay, and that turns you off on other head coaches. You know, so just keep it in house.
Yeah, it was just a bad look on the organization as a whole with how this season was handled. From his firing to just coaching mishaps in the earlier season, it just looked atrocious compared to what LeBron-led Lakers team, what you would think that team would look like. It was just like, man, this is dumpster fire, honestly. But we'll see what happens. Like, I mean, I don't like that whole, you know, I'm still thinking about the clip, bro. Like, the reporter asking Frank Vogel about, did he hear about him getting fired? It's like, bro, what? So you mean I'm coming after the game? You telling me, oh, you're fired? How do you know I'm fired? You are not even in the same company. Like, that just looked terrible, and that looks. I wouldn't want to be a part of any of that at all.
Yeah, it conveys this organization at the top. It conveys just, you know, just a whole lot of negative impressions just with that work environment. So yeah, I'm really interested to see what they do. And apparently, one of the things that they're doing